The Supreme Court's decision to strike down race-conscious admission policies at colleges and universities across the country is frankly an overreach I knew this court would take. Days later, questions remain like, could we see companies deciding to dedicate fewer resources to diversity and inclusion initiatives? Well, one company is doing its part to make sure it is actually more inclusive. Before the Supreme Court's ruling on affirmative action, Forbes magazine launched what's called Forbes BLK. Now, the company has chosen to invest in amplifying the voices of Black entrepreneurs, creators, and business leaders. I recently sat down with Jabari Young, the editorial lead for Forbes BLK, and I started out by asking him why Forbes thought it was time to launch this new space right now. Here's what he had to say.
Why now? Because the time was now. You know, you don't do things until they're right, and I think Forbes saw that the time was right to launch this. We just did a progress report where we were talking about what companies promised to Black community after post-George Floyd in 2020, and when we sat down in the newsroom and tried to align, hey, what can we do to at least cover some news from the business side? And looking at the Black lens, like through the Black perspective on the business side, it just made sense. And so we launched it. For me, I was in Tulsa in January of 2023 and had a chance to go down there. It was the first time I was ever down that way and had a chance to relive the Black Wall Street experience. And from that, it just kind of, festered, and it just went on, and it just momentum was there, and we decided to launch it.
So you talk about the report. Forbes cited findings from Dig Day that showed, despite DEI promises, media companies are still mostly hiring white people. You also cited a Pew survey that says 76% of journalists are still white. So would you consider Forbes BLK a DEI initiative?
No, I wouldn't consider that an initiative at all.
It is not a DEI initiative. How would you describe it?
I would describe it as a platform. Listen, when we talk about business, not enough business is covered for me through the Black perspective, right? With that, we can cover DEI initiatives, but listen, this is still Forbes at the end of the day, and what Forbes is a magazine, a news magazine, and so we'll be covering news items and looking at the DEI initiatives of not just companies like banks like Citibank or Bank of America, but also the NFL and the NBA. I come from a sports background, so you want to hold them accountable. So we want to hold people accountable, looking at the DEI initiatives that they promise to the Black community and people of color, while at the same time doing other things, profiles on Black executives that people may not know about, companies from Black people that people may not know about, that needs the exposure, because this exposure, very well, it can help them maybe sell their company and maybe become millionaires or billionaires. And so we want to give them that platform, and Forbes being one of the leading business outlets in all of the world, I think they're the perfect place to do it.
It is. I'm glad you cleared that up, that this is not a DEI initiative, if you will, but it is important to understand that this is from, as you said, a Black lens, a Black perspective. You all are launching this amid a political climate that is really vilifying initiatives such as these, calling them divisive. Is that something you thought about or that the team discussed prior to this launch?
No. I think we did a great job, led by our Chief Content Officer, Randall Lane, in identifying what we have as a key advisory council, right? And within that advisory council, we have political figures in there, right? One of which being the former Atlanta Mayor, Kasim Reed. So we have people on our team that's going to allow us to understand, hey, what should we stay away from? What should we go towards? And because they're going to lead us. Because one of the things that you talk about culture, right? Forbes BLK is that culture. We're trying to intersect sports, music, Hollywood, all of it, right? Because, again, it's Forbes. So this is not doing anything outside of what Forbes already does, right? Events, holding panels, and doing all of it, just doing it through the Black lens. And so if there's political issues that we need to touch, we'll touch them. If there's other DEI initiatives we talked about before, we'll touch them. But also, we don't want to be a hardcore. We're also having to look at the positive stories, right? The profiles. And, again, those people out there that may not have a voice, want to be able to provide them that voice. Forbes may not have targeted in the past because they weren't billionaires. Now they have a platform in Forbes BLK to do it, while also honoring the community that was already there before Forbes BLK.
Our thanks to Jabari Young. To learn more about Forbes BLK, go to Forbes.com/ForbesBLK.